I'm 25 years old, which means that unless you get this video to 50 million views and I go super viral and I just make millions of dollars off of YouTube, I'm probably not going to retire anytime in the near future. It would be nice if I could, but I'm probably not going to. And honestly, I don't really want to because I enjoy doing this too much, amongst other things. But if you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you are at or near retirement age and you are trying to figure out if the place that I am currently walking right now could potentially be a candidate for your permanent home moving forward. And listen, I've only been here all of 2 weeks, but after about 2 days, I determined that this is probably one of the best places, not just in the Netherlands, but in the whole world to retire. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why that is. Now, the first reason why this is an amazing place to retire, and by the way, the place that I'm currently in is Vossen, Gelderland, the Netherlands. The first reason why Vossen is probably one of the best places to retire in the whole world. I have no statistics to back this up. This is just anecdotal experience that you can verify for yourself by just visiting here. But the first reason is the pace of living. So if you can see in the background, there's not really a whole lot going on here. And in some cases, this can be very detrimental because not having a lot going on in a place is typically indicative of a lack of amenities or a lack of access, which also, by extension, means it's inconvenient to be there. But this is not the case here, and I'll explain more about why that is later on in this video. But the pace of living here is a lot slower than your average Dutch city, because truthfully, this isn't really a city. This is a town, or maybe it even qualifies as a village, but it's definitely not a big city. I think the population is hovering around 12,000 people. And you can see there aren't a whole lot of cars, there aren't a whole lot of bikes, there aren't a whole lot of pedestrians. It's just slow. It's a slow pace of life. People are just out and about, enjoying themselves, not really hustling. In downtown Vossen, there are a lot of little restaurants, and you know how kind of your average Dutch town looks like when you go into the downtown area. You have the big church, you have the little restaurants and the bars and all of that. And I just see people, especially older people, living life out there at all times of the day, just living life, just relaxing, enjoying the peace of mind that comes with getting away from the hustle and bustle of a big city. Because truthfully, if you're looking to retire, that means you're done working. That means you are done working and you probably want to get away from that hustle culture. This is the kind of place, listen, we're gonna walk down here. This is a dead end. I've been here before, but this is the kind of place where you can get away from that hustle and bustle. Rest assured, this is the kind of place where you can make that happen. I don't know what this place is in particular. I don't know if these are houses or maybe Airbnbs or something like that. But you can see it's just a very calm, cool, and collected area. Don't want to show the inside of people's houses or anything, but it's just a very nice, chill area. You can see I'm talking quieter because it just feels more appropriate to speak at this volume in a place where the pace of living is the way that it is. It's the middle of the afternoon. There's no traffic. I don't hear horns honking. It's just nice and peaceful. Slow pace of living, which again, I suspect most people who are retiring are seeking. And along with the slow pace of living, I think this informs the slow pace of living, as a matter of fact. The next reason why Vossen is probably one of the best places to retire in the world is because of the nature. You can see right there, there's a squirrel. I don't know if you can see the squirrel going up the tree, but There are squirrels here. There's all kind of wildlife, chickens, a lot of cats running around. Obviously the cats belong to people, but just a lot of nature. And aside from the wildlife, there's trees. There are more trees. I mean, you can see I'm kind of walking on this dirt path right now. And this is really what most of Vossen looks like. You have these nice houses, and they're right on the edge of nature. You can see, I mean, it's just peaceful. This morning, as a matter of fact, I woke up, well, I woke up in the afternoon, but in the afternoon, I woke up, I went to the back door, I opened the curtains, and there was a chicken in the backyard. And we fed the chicken some uncooked rice, some crackers from Albert Heijn. We gave it some water, and that's how my girlfriend and I started our day. And that's the kind of experience you can have being in a place like Vossen. You can start your day around nature, around wildlife, wake up whenever you want, and just enjoy the scenery. Even just the sounds. Let me stop talking for a few seconds so you can just hear the sounds of Vossen. I mean, who doesn't want to hear that every single day? You're probably mad that I just started talking again. But let me know if you want some just walks through nature here with no commentary, and I can provide that as well. But you can see that's a nice house right there. There are a lot of really nice houses out here, and they're just right next to nature. And not only that, but the cost of living here, the cost of living out here in Vossen is lower than other parts of the Netherlands. Now listen, I don't know all of the specifics of how much each individual area of the Netherlands costs. What I do know is that this area is cheaper to be in than the area that I was in previously, which was the Sprangkapelle, Kaatsheuvel, Waalwijk area. That area was more expensive than this area here. And honestly, other than, what's the theme park called? The Efteling, I think. Other than that, it doesn't really have anything that Vossen doesn't have. So honestly, I think that it's a steal being able to be out here for such a low cost of living. I don't know what that was, but it's such a steal being able to experience this for so much less money than you would have to pay to be in a place like Sprangkapelle, for example, where, listen, they don't have nature like this. They probably have it in Brabant. I remember I went to some sort of nature reserve, or preserve, I think it's called, a nature preserve. That was pretty nice. But I mean, this is like one ongoing, continuous nature preserve. Vossen in and of itself is a nature preserve. And I mean, you can just visualize yourself walking right here every single day, whatever time would be most desirable to you, maybe sunrise, sunset, whatever, on a sunny day like this, just reminiscing on all of the work that you put in to get to this point where you can take these relaxing walks. I mean, this is a really, really beautiful area, and truthfully, even as an American, I want to retire here. I want to retire here. So get this video to 50 million views so that I can go ahead and retire. But aside from the low cost of living, the slow pace of life, and the accessibility to nature, the next reason why this is an amazing place to retire, Vossen, the Netherlands, the next reason why this is an amazing place to retire is because of the accessibility to larger cities. So you have pretty much everything you would need in Vossen, but you don't necessarily have everything you'd want in Vossen. And of course, that's going to be the case in any city of 12,000 people in the whole world. But one thing you do have here is you have roads. So you can drive, or you can take public transit to Apeldoorn, which is probably, I want to say, I've never driven there, but by bus it's about an hour. And of course the bus goes slower than cars because it has to stop. So you're probably looking at a 20 to 30 minute drive to get to Apeldoorn. If you're from this area and you've made that drive, then comment below how long the drive takes. But Apeldoorn, I mean, that's a city that has pretty much everything that you could possibly need. And even Apeldoorn itself is not a very, very large city. It's not overwhelmingly busy or anything like that. It's just a nice mid-sized Dutch city. I think it's maybe the 10th or 11th most populated city here in the Netherlands. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it's somewhere around that area. And that's going to be kind of the central hub if you need those bigger city amenities out here in the Netherlands, or in this particular area of the Netherlands. So you have access to Apeldoorn, so all of the conveniences are still there. They may not be at your doorstep, but the trade-off is you get this. If you choose to buy a house, maybe you can get a yard like this. But even if you don't, you get access to the nature. And this right here, I mean, again, I'm only gonna be here for another week or two, but this is not the last time I'm coming to Vossen, best believe. Because I'm serious. I really want to retire here. I don't know when that's going to be. Ideally, it'd be sooner rather than later. But whenever that time comes, rest assured that Vossen is going to be right there near or at the top of my list.